Your boy Double H Half Hope. Welcome to Talking Tactics. Slightly different. So this week we do not have Daniel. This week we do not have Carl. But because we love you guys so much, we are still going to give you that weekly Talking Tactics. And this is going to be a crazy one. Two very loud, abrasive, outspoken personalities. It's your boy HH, and it is the man, the myth, the legend, Juju man himself. Juju man, what's up, baby?
Thanks for having me. Thanks for having me.
Juju man, it's a pleasure to have you on board. It's a pleasure to have you on board. So let me just do a bit of the how things. So remember, guys, to follow us on SoundCloud, follow us on Spotify, follow us on Twitter as well. All the links will be in the description box. Remember to like and share this and so forth and everything. And before we just go through, we always do this. We always, like to read some of our reviews from our fans. So this review, I believe, comes from the UK. And this is from King Jordy 1992, who says, "Great podcast, lads. Top notch." Thank you very much for that 5-star review there. So, this is going to be an interesting one. And I think, for this, there are a few topics I wanted to touch. And I think our big topic is going to be the Champions League preview, because the draw is going to be happening on Thursday. So just the things about that. So I think the best place to start, I feel, is with Liverpool. And, because again, remember, Liverpool and Man City, they're both really battling for it. What do you think it will take for Liverpool to win the Premier League off of Man City? Because I believe that it can't happen. But 3 games running in, Liverpool look like if they've not yet missed a step. They look good. They look quality. It seems as if they've not taken their game to another level, and they're still playing that very high level peak football, and they look incredible and impeccable at Anfield. What do you think that they will be able to just push it further and be able to last just a bit more than Man City? What do you think they need to stop the behemoth that is Pep Guardiola's Man City? And might just say, Pep is never losing in the Premier League. That's never happening. As long as he has the oil money, it's never happening. But how do you roll with that?
I think it's simple for Liverpool. They need the same strategy they used last year, get themselves out of the minor trophies.
So you're saying that they should intentionally tank the FA Cup?
Liverpool have to be honest. You have to know your limit. This City squad, they have the biggest squad depth in Europe. You cannot compete with them. So Klopp has to be wiser and play in the important competitions. Like winning an FA, it is good, but I mean, you don't want to sacrifice. Irrelevant. Yeah. Focus on Champions League and the Premier League.
Okay. Let me ask you this then. So if you're Liverpool and it's between focusing on the Champions League and the Premier League, because we're going to get to Man City and what I think City should be doing. But if you're Liverpool, should they prioritize trying to defend their crown in the Champions League? Or should they focus on trying to win this Premier League and put their focus more on the Premier League than in the Champions League? Which should they focus on more?
If I was them, I'll focus on the Champions League. I still think they're the best knockout team in Europe, because City's squad depth is too big. Like, these guys can afford to have players injured and they'll still be good. So
they have 2 players in every position.
Yeah. So it's like they should still go for the Premier League, but they can still win Champions League. They can still win Champions League. If they win the Premier League, it's a bonus. I don't think they should put themselves in too much pressure, because I've never seen a team in the last 10 years as stacked as City. So if Liverpool don't win, it's not like...
I have to agree with Wes, because for me, I feel that this City squad is a ridiculous squad. They have pretty much 2 players in every position. And when you even look at their bench, the fact that you have some games when Sergio Aguero is sitting on the bench, that's scary. The fact that some games Bernardo Silva can't even hold the picture, that's scary. And I think I get where you're coming from, which is why a season is about squad depth. A knockouts competition is about how good your first team is.
Yeah, the other thing you mentioned with City is they have Mahrez on the bench. He doesn't even start. And Cancelo and Mendy are like new signings. It's too much.
Liverpool fans have to be realistic here. I know your dream is to win the Premier League, but this is something I'm trying to drill into people's thick skulls. As long as Pep is with this Man City team, with this money, he cannot be beaten in a league. It's never happening, because they have a team that... Liverpool were close last season. They were close because they were 7 points. They were close, and that was their best opportunity. City have gotten stronger. If Liverpool wanted to win the Premier League, last season was when they should have done it.
And the other thing, just to on this topic is, I mean, with City, is Fernandinho now a bench player now? I mean,
yes,
they have 2 teams. I'm not sure how this is allowed.
And this is a perfect segue into Man City. So for City, they won again, very routine victory against Bournemouth. And Juju man, something struck me when I was watching that game. And it's been striking me in the past few games. Do you know Pep? If Pep Guardiola isn't careful, he's going to have a heart attack. The way in which how intensive he is with how he wants City to beat Bournemouth. I say to myself, wait a minute. You know that your squad is bloody amazing. You know that your second team can sleepwalk and beat Bournemouth. Why are you putting so much pressure? The thing is, you really think that you can win 4 trophies? Pep, you can't push these guys into every single competition. Judgment, I really believe that Pep wants to be the first manager to win 4 trophies with a team. And I think that he wants to do that again this season with Man City and say, no, I want to be the first coach who wins 4 trophies. Do you believe that City can go hard in the Premier League and go hard in the Champions League and win both or win the treble? Or do you think they have to choose?
They don't have to choose, because if you look at last year, they didn't have.
What do you mean they don't have to choose?
I honestly believe they can go for all 4. Like
easy. What?
Yes, they can. They can go for all 4. Like if you look at last year, people can argue that one of the main reason they didn't beat Tottenham is De Bruyne didn't play in those games, and now they have
because he did play in the first leg, yeah.
Yes, and also I think the second leg, I'm not sure if he played because he was injured during the weekend. City now have a full squad, and it needs a bit of luck. But if the schedule favors them, then they can do it, which is scary. They can do it.
I mean, but don't you think that, because nobody has ever done that before, that's unprecedented for major trophies. But don't you think that Pep Guardiola maybe, even if he does have the squad, 100% he does have the squad.
Yeah.
Don't you feel that he may be pushing his team too much? Because you see, the reason why were not able to do it was Pep Guardiola knew that he had Crystal Palace that weekend, and that was a very tricky game and they needed the points because he knew that any slip up Liverpool would get them. What was shown to him last season was like, bro, Pep, it's impossible, because it is impossible to cater for every single competition if you're going for all 4.
I don't think it's impossible, Double H. Like, I think the standards for Pep need to be higher. There's no team that it is better than this City team. If Pep doesn't win at least 2 or 3 trophies every season, it's a failure. With the team he has, no one has. This is luxury. No one has this luxury in football.
Do you feel that if Pep leaves Man City but he never wins the Champions League with Man City, do you consider that a failure, or do you still see that it's a success based on all of the trophies that he's won with Man City?
It's still a success because of the EPLs. If he
even if he has spent billions upon billions, even you said with your mouth that nobody can test this team based on their squad depth in the Premier League. So how is it a success?
If he wins 5 or 6 in a row, I mean, this is remarkable, and he just needs a Champions League semi-finals appearance, maybe even one final to win.
No, he needs to win it. You can't give me a semi-final appearance with that amount of money, bro. You just said that these guys have the best squad in the world. How am I supposed to accept a semi-final appearance or a final appearance as acceptable?
It takes time, though. It takes time. If the good thing, Pep is in a good position. As long as he has the Premier League, I think that's the key. As long as he has the Premier League, even though he's supposed to be going for Champions League and Premier League, as long as he has the Premier League, I mean, that's a good fallback. It's still a successful season. It's still a successful season.
Let's just touch upon Arsenal, who obviously lost. So I was speaking to Devil, who's obviously one half of the football doggers, and he said that if Arsenal don't get top 4, Emery should worry about his job. So when you're looking at Arsenal now, I believe Arsenal should get top 4. I believe they will, and I believe that they should. From what you've seen so far, do you think that Arsenal should get top 4? If they don't get top 4, should Emery be sacked?
Before the season began, I put Arsenal as the 4th team, but
Liverpool at Anfield is not easy.
No, but what's it called? They don't have to lose 3. I mean, they can lose 1-0 or 2-1, but the way, first of all, the beginning of the game where they're trying to pass from the back, everyone looks uncomfortable, and Liverpool are pressing, and it's like, I don't know what Emery's doing.
But very quickly, Jordan, why do so many teams try and pass from the back when they don't know how to pass from the back?
I can't figure out, because I'm looking at that Arsenal team. They look so uncomfortable even passing from the back, and they're trying it. So I'm not sure what Emery is doing. And with Emery, I don't know why Ceballos was still playing, because he was winded. He could barely run. And so it's like, or either change the tactic, because Ceballos, he's ineffective. He looks winded. And
no, but I was speaking to Dev as well, and we're having a discussion about it.
Yeah.
And they're saying that Arsenal should do a 3-4-3 because David Luiz plays better in a back three than playing in a back four. So if they were to switch the formation to a 3-4-3, have wing backs, Tierney and your boy Bellerin, which is what Devil suggested. Do you think that would be a better setup for this season, having a 3-4-3 rather than the setup they have now?
They should play Lacazette and Aubameyang up top. Okay. They should do the 4-4-2. I liked when they played the 4-4-2 and they looked well when they played the 4-4-2.
So both Tottenham and United lost. So for Tottenham, how long do you think Pochettino is going to stay with Tottenham? Do you think that he regrets not taking that Real Madrid job? Do you think he's going to be with Tottenham for the long term? Because a lot of people are already now saying that, Tottenham, Pochettino, it didn't really popping off. I think that, he messed up in that Champions League final, and that is something that he will have to live with for the rest of his life. How he didn't start Lucas Moura in that final is going to be the biggest mistake and the biggest regret of his entire life. So, do you see Pochettino elevating Tottenham? They're political because we're not hearing that Eriksen may leave. Because if Eriksen leaves, Tottenham are screwed. I don't care about Harry Kane. Where do you see the future lies with Tottenham and Pochettino?
I think he's a good manager, but some of the decisions he makes, like, I know he spends a lot of time with Lucas Moura, but sometimes I don't understand why Lucas Moura, it's like he has to prove himself every time. At the game against City, he had the impact. I mean,
let me be real with you, Juju, man.
Yeah.
He's never winning a trophy with Tottenham. I think he's taking them as far as he can. I don't know whether you agree or disagree. I feel that the peak, the level was last season. Yeah. I don't see that. I just see that they're lacking something. Maybe it's a different manager, maybe it's a different coach, maybe it's a different player. I just don't see them winning a trophy.
Wait, but I
think he's taking them as fast as they can.
But where are they going to go? Where is he going to go though?
Bro, have no idea. Let me be real with you. Is Pochettino that great a manager?
That's the frustrating thing about him, because sometimes he goes to the Stamford Bridge, drops a great performance. Old Trafford drops a great performance. And then last week, all of a sudden, out of nowhere, loses to mid-table or below a top 10 team. And it's like, okay, like, what's wrong with this guy? And the squad, I look at Tottenham, against City, their defense, it wasn't as strong. But, this is still a good team. It's still a good team. So I'm not sure. His results are inconsistent, where sometimes he performs well and then sometimes he doesn't. So, with your statement, is he a good manager? He's 50-50 with this guy. Sometimes he does well, sometimes I don't know what he's doing.
Let's now ride with Man United now. Bro, this dude is a rookie, man. We have two rookies. This is rookie number one because he came before Lampard. They lost to Crystal Palace. Can we be honest with Man United? United are the new AC Milan.
Oh, I think that's harsh. That's harsh.
Easy, let me learn. Okay. They're not as bad as AC Milan. AC Milan are horrible. They lost to Udinese. Yeah. Those guys are flipping horrible. But why I say that the AC Milan is, that badge is one of the most iconic badges in football. That United badge is iconic. That AC Milan badge is iconic. But there has been a massive fall from grace. Juju, man, I'm not putting money on United making top for this season. Juju, man, I can't give you a specific date when we will see Manchester United in the Champions League. Yeah. And I feel there are talented players there. I don't know how much you rate Rashford. Maybe you can tell me how much you rate Rashford and everything. Maybe you can tell me how long Pogba will stay at United. But I feel that Solskjaer, I feel he's good. He's talented. He deserves the job. Solskjaer is not the man to take United back to greatness. I feel that he may get sacked by Christmas. And I just feel that there is not enough consistency within this team to consolidate and maintain a top four. So in your view, do you think that maybe this is a season that United can get back to the top? If not, how long do you think it will take before United are a big, massive team who can now compete with the elite teams?
I still think they're in contention for top four. With Rashford, I think Rashford has improved, and I'm starting to rate the guy. They have the core.
Can Rashford get United 25? Can he get 25 goals this season for United?
He can get below 25, at 20 to 25 there. That's a realistic one. He can get there easily, I think. The penalty, he missed it, but it was a good, as the commentator say, there's a lot of conviction there. It was a good penalty, but it hit the ball. So he's getting chances. With the game against Crystal Palace, De Gea, I'm not sure. He had another brain fart where I'm not sure how you get beaten.
No, De Gea is. I don't ever want to hear anybody call De Gea a world-class goalkeeper anymore. These are too many mistakes. So
it's simple. Like you can't concede those goals. I know it was a powerful shot, but you cannot concede those goals. But I know you like Martial, but I still don't think. I mean, he's good, but
easy. Juju man, respect the man.
No, because I think he just makes a lot of mistakes when United they go forward. Like Martial messes up a lot. He messes up a lot.
Okay.
I know.
Let me ask you this then. Who is United's best player? Technically, United's best player.
It's either Pogba or Rashford. I know people will hate because it's Pogba. It's Pogba or Rashford.
Wait. You're putting Rashford. Wait, you're saying that Rashford is a technically better football player than Martial?
I mean, yes, I'll say Rashford is better.
What?
Yes, he is. Like Rashford, he's improved. He's improved from the guy who was.
No. I'm not. I know that he's improved. Yeah. I'm just asking that you're gonna tell me with a straight face, based purely on technical footballing ability, that Rashford is a technically superior football player than Martial.
Martial is he's not consistent enough for me to say he's overall better than Rashford, and I think Rashford is getting better. He's getting better every season. He's better than Martial.
Okay. All right. So let's just quickly touch upon Chelsea. We can just end the Premier League now. Yeah. This is the second rookie. This is the second rookie here. Yeah. So they finally got their first winner of the season. Tammy Abraham finally scored the goals right now. So let me look at Tammy Abraham right now. Let's touch on Tammy Abraham. Do those 2 goals give you confidence that he can sort of do something well in the Premier League? Like, let me just, give my thoughts to this. Like, it's one game. It's only one game. I was so happy for the dude. Based on the abuse he got, I was one of his biggest critics. I was like, bro, missing too many chances. This ain't the Championship. This is the Premier League. Those were 2 quality goals. 2 quality goals. And the key thing is that he scored a winning goal. It's only one game. It's against Norwich, not one of the best teams. And I still don't feel that Chelsea have a top-tier striker.
Giroud is a World Cup winner.
Oh my God.
He's a World Cup winner.
No. You can't just keep... Okay. He won the World Cup. Didn't Arbeloa win the World Cup as well with Spain?
Yes, but Giroud was...
So the concept that Arbeloa is a World Cup player because he won the World Cup with Spain.
Wait, but Giroud can be world class if you put him in the right system. Giroud is world class. If you put him in the right system, he's world class.
I'm begging you, please. Just think long and hard about what you're trying to tell me. Please. You're telling me that Olivier Giroud should be mentioned in the same breath as Aguero, as Kane, as Icardi, as Aubameyang?
There's no huge gap. Like, Giroud is still good. Like, it depends how you use him. You use him in the right system, he can get you a lot. You can get a lot out of Giroud.
Has Giroud ever scored 30 Gs a season?
No, but he has the impact. He has an impact. Giroud is more...
No, but see, all because a guy is effective in a system doesn't make him world class. I'm talking about Giroud as a player, as an individual. Forget about the system. As a player, are you telling me that Giroud should be mentioned in the same breath as flipping Aubameyang, as Aguero, as Kane, and so forth? Who are amongst the best strikers in the world? So you said he should be in that group.
I won't be confident about Aubameyang after that disaster class against Liverpool. You're right, he should be mentioned, but he's not that far away. It's not like a huge distance between Giroud and the other guys. There's still something in there. There's still something in Giroud. You use him probably, it should give you a decent.
Okay. So in your view then, if you're Lampard, you would have Giroud, you would put your faith in Giroud over Tammy Abraham.
The one thing I like about Tammy Abraham is he's mobile. He has movements. He's
he's better on the ball.
Yes. I'll give you that. He's better on the ball. So he works better with the other players. Well, with Giroud, is more. You need his presence in the 18. Well, Abraham is more mobile. So I'll be honest. He's impressed me. I just thought he was another target man who's just smart, but he actually can move. So I've been impressed. So I agree. Tammy Abraham If I was Lampard, start
and
Tammy
also,
Abraham.
and what about Bat? So you're saying so Batshuayi is done for his career is finished. He should retire.
Yes, yes, and I say this. I know Daniel likes Batshuayi, but I say this that 2 years when Conte 2 or 3 years ago when Conte was in charge of Chelsea, the moment I knew Batshuayi was not a top professional is when Conte subbed him in the 95th minute. He was 93rd minute, played like 2 or 3 minutes, and he was happy. He was happy, and I was like, this guy doesn't have the mentality. I told Daniel Tiller because he went to social media. He was happy and everything. I was like, this is not a top professional. You should be upset. You should request for a transfer. And now I'm not surprised what's happening to Batshuayi because you can't take your career as a joke. So I mean, Batshuayi is done. He's done.
No. I mean, look, for me, I think it's unfortunate because I don't think that he's been given enough of the opportunities, but I think he may be right because it seems as if Lampard is either going to go for Giroud or for Tammy Abraham. But I believe that goal-scoring instincts can't be taught, and Batshuayi has a natural goal-scorer instinct. And if I need a goal in a game, I'm looking at Batshuayi before Giroud or Tammy Abraham. Now, Giroud may be very good for a particular system. Tammy Abraham may be the most gifted footballer out of all three. Goals is the name of the game. Juju, man, who helped Chelsea win? Who scored the crucial goals or the crucial goal that helped Chelsea? Who scored the crucial goals that helped Chelsea win the Premier League for Conte?
Batshuayi, I remember. But you can't say Double H didn't get his opportunity. He went to Dortmund. He got his opportunity at Dortmund. He went to Valencia, got another opportunity. So if the guy is not putting a lot of people putting work. I mean, to play at the top, you have to put a lot of work. If he doesn't put enough work or doesn't improve, then I mean, tough luck Batshuayi.
Harsh. All right. So let's now, and that's a nice little segue because you mentioned Dortmund. Let's slide over to the Bundesliga right now. So Dortmund, 2 wins out of 2. Dortmund, who completely and utterly choked last season when they flipped 9 points clear, but managed to conspire to mess up, not winning the Bundesliga. Juju, how much do you know of Julian Brandt?
The only thing I know is Leverkusen. He played for Leverkusen, and Lowe said he was better to the team than Leroy Sané. So that's the only two main things. And I know he was supposed to be one of the big players.
That clown you just mentioned, Eugene Love. If you took a guy because you say he's better than Leroy Sané, why didn't you start him at the World Cup?
He has some loyalty with Thomas Muller and some guys that are under. I'm not sure why.
Oh, okay. So, but again, I was watching the Dortmund game and Judgment, Dortmund, they're looking pretty good. They made 3 super smart signings. They've improved the attack in Torgan Hazard and Brandt, specifically Brandt. I'm not sold on Torgan Hazard. I think he's good. I think he's slightly overrated, but I think he's decent. He's a good player, but maybe I want to prove him wrong. You know what? I'm going to say this. This is what I'm going to say. Julian Brandt is the most underrated player in the world.
What?
Tell me a more underrated player than Julian Brandt, and I'll respond. Tell me a player that is more underrated, and I'll defend my points. Tell me.
I said this in the Hangout, and I said this. I think Rafael Guerreiro, the left back for Dortmund, is the most underrated player in world football.
How is he underrated? He is decent. He's pretty good.
He's not decent. He's amazing.
Okay, wait. So you're saying Guerreiro is should be mentioned as one of the best full backs in the world?
Yes.
That guy has been defensively suspect, bro.
I mean, but he's so talented, though. Like, which left back can play? Like, this man can play. I know I've said this and I repeat it again. Which left back can play 3 positions? I think he can play. He's so good. No, he's too good to be a left back that he plays. He's good going forward.
Man, how good is he defensively? He's very good going forward. Excellent going forward. Great shooting ability. Is he defensively as solid as a Semedo, as a Robertson, as any of these dudes?
But we can use the same argument for Marcelo. But you know what?
No. Remember, I never mentioned Marcelo. See, Marcelo falls into the same category. Great going forward, not so great going back. But Robertson, great going forward, great going back. Pick Alaba, great going forward, great going back. So
yes, he's no good. True, you're right. He's no good going. I mean, he's not among the best defensively, but his attack is going forward. He's underrated. I think he's the most underrated player going forward because I'm not sure if majority of people know this guy is a left back because he plays in the middle. He plays he's nearly everywhere in the field, but no one knows he's a left back.
He's like Joshua Kimmich then.
Yeah.
This time, I feel that you're wrong.
Yeah.
So if you remember, I thought that wrong. I think I also say Brandt is the most underrated player in the world right now. I'll probably tweet it out. But so in your view, Dortmund, do you think the signings are the signings that can finally make them win the Bundesliga or even go further in the Champions League, or do you think that they will choke once again?
No, I think they made the correct signings, and I said this two weeks ago. I think that the dark horse is the Champions League, and if everyone stays fit, because with this team, I'm not sure what they do in practice, but they always seem to some key player is always injured for some reason. They've improved their defense with now they have Hummels and Akanji, so that should be a solid defense, at least quarters.
So quarters minimum.
Yes, of the Champions League, at least quarters. That's not a high target. They should realistically be able to go past the quarters. Plus, their coach, he's underrated too. With Bundesliga, it's in a few weeks against Bayern Munich. That's when it decides how serious they want this Bundesliga. If they beat Bayern Munich,
no. This is their best chance because
yeah,
because we're gonna get to Bayern Munich, but this Dortmund, first of all, they should have won last season. You don't go 9 points clear and somehow screw up, and they screw up in the most dumb, stupid way possible. But Lucien Favre said that he has learned from the mistakes of last season, i.e., that's why they bought Hummels, because we're very naive defensively, and they just gave away stupid goals. So Mats Hummels is going to help improve the defense and work well on the high line. Hazard and Brandt are just going to ramp up the creativity. And bro, Juju, man, Sancho might be a future Ballon d'Or winner, bro.
Easy. Ballon d'Or, like
Sancho, bro, Juju, man, Sancho, this guy is. Don't you dare. And guys, I am not insulting Man United. Relax. This is no offense to Manchester United. Okay, we are here as neutral football analysts.
Yeah.
Sancho should not touch Manchester United.
It's too good.
At least for the next 7-8 years, don't touch that club. That club is in a real rebuilding phase. Dortmund is perfect for you. This is, because remember, England play a much more kind of defensive, more pragmatic system. The Dortmund system under Favre is beautiful for Sancho because Sancho is a flamboyant, flair, dribble first forward player, which is what I love. So, do you feel that? How good of a season do you think Sancho can have? Or do you think Sancho's true breakout season is maybe a few years down the line?
He's improving because last year I thought this guy was maybe is a one season wonder. Maybe it's just it's a fun.
Easy.
But now he's scoring again consistently and performing too. He's performing too. He'll have a good international and club career. But this is what I urge, like English players that are young, people should go out and play, because you look at someone like Phil Foden. This might come shocking, but I think he's more talented than Sancho. But no one knows that because he's a bench player.
Bench player.
Yeah, so like you need to get minutes in order to improve. And
Look. I don't care that Pep says he's the most talented player. I don't give a damn. All I trust is my eye test.
Yeah.
So from what I've seen, I don't see what is so special about Phil Foden. Pep Guardiola said he's the most talented player he's ever seen. I don't give a damn. I don't care. Let me be the judge of that. I've seen Sancho. And from what I've seen of Sancho, this is the most talented English player that there is.
I think he should stay in Dortmund. Like, I agree with you. Yeah, for like at least next 4 years. He's still young. Next 4 years. Stay in Dortmund.
Touch over to Bayern Munich right now. So Lewandowski scored a hat-trick, against Schalke, one of which was an amazing free kick. Where do you rate Lewandowski right now in 2019? Because it looks as if, especially with Aubameyang leaving the Bundesliga, he's going to end up being the top scorer, and he will go down as one of the greatest Bundesliga players of all time. But do you think that Lewandowski should have achieved more in his career? And do you think that Lewandowski should achieve more than just winning Bundesliga titles and goal-scoring titles, and he should really have gained and won more as a player? Or do you feel that this is his peak? This is his limit? His limit is a Bundesliga legend.
I think he could have done better with the Champions League because he missed a lot of chances in crucial Champions League knockout games. This is his main critique. Like, this is where everyone criticizes Lewandowski, is the fact that during the Champions League knockout stages, he doesn't take his chances. And I know he doesn't have the best supply, but you have to do what... Let's end that narrative now. Oh, he has no supply. I watched those games. Judgment.
remember how good that Pep team was? That Bayern Munich Pep team was bloody amazing. That was a bloody amazing team. Lewandowski had chance after chance after chance in those games. He didn't put them away.
Yes, it's the same with the one against Madrid. I think the last time they faced Madrid at the Allianz Square.
Jopankers did all he could. Jopankers gave him the perfect platform.
In the other side, the Double H, like Coman is another player that's improving, but he doesn't have the best supply, but still gets enough chance that the critique is valid. And I mean, he's the best Bundesliga striker, number 9. I saw the goals; they were good. They were good for
that freaking was crazy.
Yeah, it was amazing. And the one thing that will defy Lewandowski's career right now, he needs a huge performance in the Champions League knockouts. If he does that, then I mean, it's a great career. If he just needs 1 or 2 good Champions League performance, and if he does that, I mean, that's good, because that's the one critique everyone has about Lewandowski is the knockout games. The only game everyone can say is 2013 Madrid. I mean, how many years? That's 6 years ago.
No, it's getting. How old was that? That's like 6, 7. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on. Come on. I mean, that was great. Yeah. Bro, 2013. That's like 2 World Cups ago.
I mean, yeah.
Okay, so Perisic, Kingsley Coman. Let's be real right now. Yeah. Is that a team who people should fear in Europe?
The main problem with Bayern Munich, this might be harsh, but Niko Kovac is not good enough to coach Bayern Munich. He's limited, and I know this may sound harsh, but that Bayern Munich team, they need if I was to the team, they need what's his name? They need a manager like Ten Hag. Like it'd be similar to the Pep days where Bayern Munich were playing. They were too good. It was amazing to watch Bayern Munich.
Okay. So Ten Hag comes in with Coman, Gnabry, Thomas Muller. Yeah. You think that they should then be feared? How good is Gnabry really? How good is Kingsley Coman really? Are you telling me that Gnabry is world class? I say that Coman is world class. Is Thomas Muller still relevant in 2019? I still respect Lewandowski. Despite his Champions League wrangles, I still respect the dude. I respect Alcantara. How good is Tolisso really? So let's be real with how good are these players individually really that Bayern Munich have.
I mean, let's start with the main guy. I mean, the second guy, Coutinho. Coutinho, it's a good signing. I mean, people will say he's Coutinho. Coutinho is still a good player. And Thomas Muller, that's another. It sounds harsh too, but that's another system player. You put him in the right system, he's going to do well. He's going to do really well. Because under Pep, Thomas Muller looked amazing. So if you put him in the right system, under Hikens too. So if this guy, maybe that's another blame. Maybe we can put on Kovac. Like if Thomas Muller, maybe the system is wrong. And then Tolisso is above average. He's average. He's average.
He's average. Don't say it. He's average.
Yes. Yeah.
Juju, how many top tier players who you say are top 3 in their position are there in our Bayern Munich team?
Lucas Hernandez, I think, is a top player. Lucas Hernandez. I mean, Manuel Neuer, I don't have to say that. Sule is not. Alaba, it depends. Alaba depends.
No. Alaba, Alaba,
it declined.
3-4 years ago, yes. For me, Alaba was, in my view, was the best left back in the world, maybe 3-4 years ago. 2019, Alaba in the same.
Sure. Pavard, decent. He's decent.
Yeah, okay.
Martinez, I'm not sure he has the legs, but he can put he's decent too. Lewandowski, I mean, it's a world-class player. Thomas Muller, world-class depending on the system. Coman is decent. Gnabry, it depends with the game. I mean, he could beat 2 or 3 players.
You've gone through some names, and apart from Neuer, Lewandowski, and Hernandez, those are 3 out of 11. Bro, I mean, you went through the team, man, and I heard you say 3 names as bona fide superstars.
So, look, this is the reality with Bayern Munich. They cannot compete with teams like City, PSG, Barcelona with the cash. And Dortmund are beating them up. Dortmund are beating them
with
getting the best talent.
Yeah.
Plus they're getting the best talent in Germany. Like you said, Julian Brandt and all these guys, they're getting all the talent. So the best thing for them to do is they have to get a proper manager. That's if they fix up the manager, like they have to get a upgrade on Kovac. That's why I said Ten Hag. If they get a Ten Hag, I mean, I know he worked with a talented Ajax, but he can work with this team.
Let's look right now at the Serie A. Let's touch about the Serie A very briefly. So Inter Milan are well up and going. 4-0, Lecce. Two things I want to touch upon. Conte and Lukaku. I think those are the two key members of Inter Milan. It seems as if the Icardi era is over. That era is over. It's gone. And I think Lukaku's not entering. And I think it is great that Lukaku has scored on his debut. I think that, and I mean, after we're done with this, I actually want to see his goal and the highlights, because I definitely want to see what that's like. So I don't believe any team can beat Juventus. And everybody is saying Juve Napoli, that's going to be Juve Napoli again. Are we sleeping on Inter Milan, Antonio Conte's prowess? And are we even sleeping on what Lukaku can do and the kind of insults that he's been taking? Because I still feel that Lukaku has brick tendencies. But as much as he has brick tendencies, there are times where this guy can look like a world-class striker. He's very unique in, this guy can go from being a Class B brick to being a Tier 2 striker. And for Conte might be the best manager in the world that can make an average player look amazing. Similar to Ferguson, where he can make an average team or an average player play above their means. So do you think that somehow, some way, new manager coming into Juventus, somehow, some way, Inter Milan can shock the world and stop Juventus from winning their, oh my God, I think this is going to be their 9th or 8th?
Was this since Del Piero played in 2010, 2011, around there? So yeah, with Inter Milan, I saw Lukaku.
Sorry, go ahead.
I saw Lukaku's goal. I mean, I think they have a chemistry with Lautaro Martinez, Lukaku and Lautaro. There's a chemistry there, and
I mean, but is he a creative guy though? Lautaro Martinez, can he be the playmaker of the team? How creative is he?
I'll have to see more games to make judgment on Lautaro, but from what I'm hearing, he's a good player, and I saw some of the good game moments from both, and he played well with Lukaku, and I see Lukaku creating chances, and the one thing I don't like is the abuse Lukaku is getting. I just scroll down social media, and people are trying to make fun of his touches. I know he has a heavy touch, but I mean, calling him donkey and everything. But the one thing I'm seeing with Inter Milan though is Lukaku made a good decision going there. And the problem with, you mentioned Serie A with Juventus with the 9 in a row or 8. The problem with Inter Milan is consistency. That's the problem, because I think they can beat Juventus in a 1-on-1. It's just consistency. That's the problem. That's where Juventus gets everyone.
Okay, so in your view, do you believe that Juventus will do 10 in a row?
I'm not calling it, because I saw Juventus. I saw half an hour of that Juventus game. The Jamie Chiellini goal, and I'm not sure. I'm not sure. And because Juventus is still trying to figure out like the best starting 11, because they still
and also the new manager of Sarri coming in as well.
Yeah, Sarri too. So it's like. Sorry, I'm not sure. Is he even back? Or he's still?
And also, Juju, stop hating. Yeah. Cristiano is still a damn good goal scorer. You know, he's deep down. He's still gonna say all he wants. He's 34, 35 right now. You should be in serious decline. He had no business even scoring. How many goals did he score last season? Is it 16, 17 or something?
It's like 21.
He had no business scoring some of the goals that he scored last season based on his age. And based on what I've seen of him right now, he is going to be one of the best goal scorers this season for Juventus. You see, I need more evidence shown of me to say that, this guy's on the decline. I thought I would say that last season. Yeah. I didn't see evidence that this guy isn't the same dude.
I'll give him credit, but the one thing you mentioned is for his age. Look, I rate the same. I don't care if the guy is 50 or 19. I have the same standard as everyone. Those numbers, I don't. People will say, but it's 35. 35. I don't care if it's 34. I don't care if it's 34. Those are average numbers compared to everyone. I won't change the benchmark. And if he does well, I'll give him his credit. Yeah, I'll give him his credit. If he does well, I'll give him his credit. But I'm not just going to give him credit because he's Ronaldo. I know he's arguably Real Madrid's greatest player, and he's an amazing player. But I'm not just going to. That would be disrespectful to the other players. I mean, I can't just give the guy because of his name. I can't give him free recognition because of his name.
Very briefly, you said that. It's very important when you said that Cristiano's greatest ever player. How many league titles did he win with Real Madrid? I know. I get Champions League. I know 4. How many league titles did he win with Real Madrid? How many league titles did he win with Real Madrid? Can you answer my question?
It was 2, but
how many? Oh, no, I'm not. No, come on. I'm not. Let me land.
All right.
He won 2. How many years was he there?
Almost a decade.
You are probably right that he is. Real Madrid's most beloved player might be Raul. Their greatest player based on goals, stats, and achievements might be Cristiano Ronaldo. But your greatest player only led you to 2 La Liga titles in 8-9 years. Something doesn't add up there.
No, because that stat is misleading. Because if you look at the numbers, this guy was putting 50 goals a season. There's no reason. Like, Madrid concedes so much goals. How can someone score 50 goals and you end up not winning the league?
Okay, that's right. Okay, you know what? He did his part. Because he's not a defender. That just rubs me the wrong way. That I know that you did your work. I know you scored the goals. But 2 league titles in 8-9 years? So, I don't know. So let's swing over to the La Liga right now. Hazard hasn't started yet for Real. I want to talk about Benzema. Do you rate Benzema?
Yes, I do. With numbers, I can't say anything because his numbers are impressive. I know he plays for Madrid, but his numbers are impressive. I know he's
how many times has he scored 25 plus goals? For Real.
I think it's probably a lot because he scores. I think Benzema's numbers every season is probably over 20. He scores over 20, so it's probably a lot. Benzema can give you over 20.
Last season, I will chop that one off. I'll chop it off. You now have Daddy's home. Zidane, Uncle Zidane is his home right now. Uncle Zidane. This is the man that will play you even if you're complete and utter garbage because you're both Algerian. I get it. The Algerian connection. I get it. That's cool. Now there's nowhere to hide now. Juju, Hazard is not a goal scorer.
Yeah.
So, any of those fools online or on Twitter who judges Hazard based on goals, tell them to shut the hell up. He's a creator and he's a playmaker. The person you judge on goals is Benzema. Now, Juju, and Benzema as a sole goal scorer, there's no Cristiano.
Yeah.
There's no Cristiano to sleepwalk to give you 30 G's in his sleep. Yeah. Can Benzema as the main goal scoring outlet, not Hazard? Don't give me that crap of Hazard being the guy to bear the responsibility of goals. That is a false agenda. Can Benzema be the main goal scorer for Real Madrid this season?
Yes, and what's he called? He doesn't have any. I agree with you. He doesn't have an excuse. If he, I would say the right benchmark for Benzema. If he doesn't have over 40 goals this season, it's because he first of
40.
all 40. Yes, 40 because he has Hazard there. So if Hazard is not going to take majority of, Hazard is not selfish. He's not selfish. We know Hazard. So
yes,
he's going to give Benzema all these chances.
No excuse.
It's no excuse. But I mean, again, Madrid. The one problem with Madrid though is, I mean, they dropped 2 points. I mean, Barcelona lost. You'd expect Madrid. This is an easy game, and now they dropped 2 points. I mean,
look, Jujuban, Zidane is a tricky one because I respect Zidane. Zidane is one of my idols, and I respect the guy a lot because look, the guy is part of my childhood and everything. But Zidane is not a great manager. You shouldn't have come back. We live on a high note and wait until Deschamps leaves the France post. Go to France. Because go to France, win with France, then you could be one of the greatest figures in football. You will not emulate what you did with Real Madrid in the first. Impossible. There is no way in hell. I will bet my blood 5 times over. You are not going to come close to winning 3 CLs in a row. Hell no. Juju man.
Yeah.
As long as Messi is at Barcelona, I ain't taking Real Madrid over Barcelona in a La Liga season. Messi is a freak.
But they have Hazard though. Like with Madrid, have Hazard though.
Do you know what's so funny? For a man who has not yet kicked a ball for Real Madrid in La Liga, people have talked a lot.
Wait, but pre-season Double H, he was ugly. He was ugly during pre-season. He didn't even look like a footballer.
He was trying to lose weight. So a guy. Okay, wait a minute. So, gentlemen, let me get this straight. You can't eat during preseason. Is that what you're trying to tell me?
I mean, you're supposed to be on a diet. If that's your main job.
Okay, wait. So let me get this straight. I can't eat in preseason and be fit during the season. What's wrong with that? So why can't I eat in preseason and then be fit and training for the season? He has a 6-pack. You saw the video. He's got a 6-pack. So preseason, you could just eat it because it's preseason. It's just what I was chilling.
But he's no. He's a professional. He's under contract. He should be fit round the clock. He should be 100% round the clock.
Juju man, you sound like an old dad. You sound like an old grumpy uncle, man.
It's display. Like, Hazard's supposed. He's on the FIFA cover. This is supposed to be among the best players in the world. But he doesn't even look at it. He's unprofessional. No. I saw the video. He was joking about the six pack, and I was like, hopefully he doesn't think this is a joke, because this is serious. He's supposed to be your peak. He's supposed to be the great player that everyone looks up. He's supposed to be the main guy.
The spotlight is on him. There is no Neymar, no Cristiano. The spotlight is on him, and then we will see if he delivers. And then it's going to be fun. I will be fully open. If he flops, I am going to get this destroyed. But I'm ready, because I have confidence that this guy is a top 3 player in the world. I don't believe that he will pull through. If he doesn't pull through, hey.
And to add, that Madrid crowd is going to abuse him. Like, he gets ugly in Madrid. Like, if he underperforms, that crowd is going to.
They abused Cristiano.
Yeah.
So the guy who you call the greatest player, they booed him and they abused him. Yeah. So let's ride with this Barcelona, and we could just sort of like end this right now. Griezmann. Huge performance for him, and I think he definitely needed that. Can we both agree that? So I'm putting Rafinha in the Breakout Academy. Too harsh, or should he be under a review?
Yeah, but against Bilbao though, he played well, so under review so far. Because I had an off game against Betis, but played well first game, so 50-50. I should get under review.
So do you think that? And this is what I said. Go look at my video. I said this. Because I said Messi and Griezmann is going to be a very, very effective partnership. And Griezmann is the kind of player that Messi hopes to play alongside with. Do you believe that Messi and Griezmann will form a very dangerous partnership? Maybe I need to do a tactical snack on this. I'm thinking if you go 4-3-3, so you have Cannibal as a striker, and what you have is similar to what you saw with Iniesta, where both Iniesta and Messi occupied that number 10 area, and they just figured out how to operate those 1-2s and really open guys up. Why can't they occupy that same space and cut guys open with quick 1-2s, pass and move?
It's the same problem they had with Neymar, where they needed someone on the sides to defend. Is like, will they sacrifice Griezmann? Because Griezmann. This is challenging, but would they sacrifice Griezmann to put him on the side to defend the way they did with Neymar? Even though they might give him a lot of chances, like the way they did with Neymar. Like, he might have a lot of touches, but I'm not sure about sharing the space. Like,
so do you think that there is a way where Griezmann and Messi can coexist, or do you think that they sort of clash?
I think they clash. I know this is tough, but I mean, this is what Valverde should experimenting to see what system works well, because I don't know. I think that's the one that everyone's afraid of. Like, try to take Suarez out and put Griezmann, see how that goes. If that's a disaster, then.
No, because you see, my thing is that it depends on your opposition. You see, if you're playing against like a Liverpool or a Juventus, you need a striker.
Yeah.
But if you're playing against a smaller team, let's say you play against PSG or Dortmund, then you can go small. Then you can have Griezmann, Messi there, and take out Suarez. But I think how effective could two very small players be? Very skillful, very smart. How effective can they be?
We saw in the first game, Griezmann is not that effective on the side. He needs to play more centrally, and sometimes Suarez gets chances and he doesn't put them away.
He misses a lot of chances.
Griezmann can put chances away. And the main problem is is Messi willing to share? Like, I'm not sure if Messi would want that or not. It'll be interesting to watch what Valverde does the next few games for Barcelona.
PSG. I think I'm hearing that Mbappe and Cavani are both out. Do you feel that with those two injuries, they will now want to keep Neymar and they will refuse to sell Neymar? He's staying.
Yeah, he's staying. Because what's it called? And I had they're going to play him in the first game away. This week away, they're playing to easy minds instead of playing him first game at the Parc de France. So,
no. He can't play there. He cannot. Yeah. That'll be a mess.
And with Mbappe, I saw him holding his hamstring, so hopefully it's not as bad. But with Neymar, they need him now. Like, they've realized they need him. Choupo-Moting can be your main striker, but the bad part is.
Wait, excuse me. Choupo-Moting is their striker?
Yep, with Cavani out now, Choupo-Moting Even though he scored 2 goals, I mean, the one was amazing.
No. Man, the guy, he missed an open goal.
I know you'll be covering Champions League, but with Champions League coming this week, though, PSG will want to avoid a hard group because Neymar is missing the first 3 games, and if they don't have their key players, I don't know how long they're out for. I mean,
wait. How come Neymar is missing the first 3 games?
Because of their ban. I think did he hit the no the reaction? Remember against after United, the one who social media. Yeah, it was like hopefully they get an easy.
Yeah, that's true. Wow. Okay, so let's hit some questions right now. So from Ungozulu Matondo, who says, "Is Jadon Sancho not the best player in the Bundesliga?" Bro, he's close. I'll keep it real with you. As of right now, I'd say yes. Lewandowski is better overall based on his legacy, but based on form, Sancho is the best player in the Bundesliga.
I mean, Lewandowski is better. I would take Lewandowski, and I know Royce is inconsistent, but I don't know. I mean,
Royce is very good.
But I'll give Royce too.
So from Kojo, who says, "How can Man United best mitigate their midfield problems as Pogba is playing too deep and Lingard can't cut it anymore?" You can change guys, bring guys in, 4-3-3, 4-4-2, 4-2-3-1, double pivots, 1 pivot. You need personnel. They don't have the personnel. Matic is past it. Fred ain't it. If you don't have the particular personnel who can best execute the role of the DM, the CM, the number 8, the number 10, bro, it doesn't matter what tactics you will use. So the issue is the quality of the personnel that Man United have just isn't very good. So let's look at Football Bans, who says, right now, who are the top 5 players that are too good for the teams they play for? Example, Fekir and Carvalho at Real Betis. Ooh, that's a tough one.
I'll start. I can start with the 2. Pogba. I think Pogba is playing in the team that he's too good for. The second one is
Zaha for Crystal Palace for sure.
Yeah, Zaha, and then N'Golo Kante is too good for Chelsea.
Why do you have to do that, man?
Another one you have. I would argue Lewandowski is probably he deserves a better team than Bayern Munich, which is how hard, but he deserves.
Okay. So you're saying that if Lewandowski was at a Barcelona, Real Madrid, or Juventus, he would deliver in the Champions League then?
Because he would get a better supply. With Bayern Munich, I know it's like a excuse people use, but if you look at a striker like Cavani, these guys get a lot of chances, and if Lewandowski got those chances, he'd score more than he scores right now.
So from Football Bants again, who came with quite an incredible tweet here. So he said he actually did a table using my goal margin in terms of lubrications, circumcisions, and so forth. So he said, since the start of the 2011 to 2012 season, Arsenal have had 9 lubrications, 8 circumcisions, and 2 sacrifices. Given that horrendous record, and they failed to win any major trophy plus having 0 Champions Leagues, can you please stop referring to Arsenal as a big club? # mid-table team, # exposure season.
I hope Arsenal fans don't take this personally, but I don't know how anyone watches Arsenal on a regular basis. Wow. I mean, that performance I saw against Liverpool is just mediocre. Their manager, Emery is he's tier 3 manager. He's not top quality. I mean, he can be a nerd and have like a book of the players and profiles and everything, but some of his tactics, I don't know what he does. But with the team, I mean, I look at Socrates. Hey, he's decent. David Luiz. I mean, I don't need to say more about that guy.
Yeah, no.
I was impressed with Willock, with Willock and that pasta.
Pretty good.
He's good. And Aubameyang is supposed to be among the best strikers in the world. I don't know where he was. The team some of the players in those teams are really good, but the mentality in the club, the manager they hire, they're not top 4. They're not top 4 in England. I say they're maybe Europa where they are right now. I think right now is fair results where they are.
They're a Europa team there, away from the top.
Yes, Europa team is a Europa team.
Jesus. Okay. From our good friend here, Tapiwa Musa, Antoine Griezmann is what you guys think Eden Hazard is? No. So do you agree with that, or
he's accomplished more than Hazard? So even though Hazard is more, I would say, the quote unquote, the more naturally gifted player, Griezmann has. I mean, he has accomplished a lot. So I cannot argue against Griezmann. It's difficult to argue against Griezmann because he has the trophies to back his claims.
We have to just agree to disagree because we'll be here all night arguing. All right. So from Sami, who says, why are people like Bonucci, Matuidi, and Khedira still starting for Juve in 2019 when they signed De Ligt, Rabiot, Ramsey, etc.? Did Sarri give his assistant coach something a bit too strong to smoke before selecting the team? I think the back three would be Chiellini, De Ligt, and I think Bonucci might be better than Rugani. And also Matuidi, I think, is very underappreciated. Matuidi was very important to France winning that World Cup. Very important. People need to really appreciate him. Khedira shouldn't be a professional footballer in 2019. No way.
And the other thing with I watched Rabiot for entire season. Rabiot is world class.
Quality player.
Yeah, if he plays only CDM, if he plays out of position, I think sometimes he's inconsistent and doesn't perform well. Like sometimes he drops a 10 out of 10. Sometimes he drops like a 2 out of 10. But if you play him if Juventus play him in the CDM, he's a great player. And what's his name? With De Ligt, that's the surprising one. I'm not sure why De Ligt is not starting.
That's crazy.
I'm not sure De Ligt signed for Juventus to be on the bench. Like, so that's I'm not sure what's going on.
Yeah. No. I think De Ligt, he's too good of a player. But although I was hearing something though that De Ligt said he was very surprised by how high the level was of the players when he joined. So maybe it's a thing of like, oh, bro, maybe he ain't just going to walk into the team. You've got to end any rest, but we'll see.
Yeah.
From the Mahogany Man, who says, is Mason Mount to Lampard what Jorginho was to Sarri? Yes.
I second that. I agree because so far he's been good.
Yeah. Okay. So both agree. So from Packed Mouse, who says, I know it has its benefits, but what has VAR really brought to the Premier League so far, other than bringing in more unnecessary debates and arguments? Hence why chants of FVAR have started up around various football grounds. At the end of the day, it is needed in football. It needs to be improved. It needs to be much more consistent. It needs to be better implemented. But remember, we're just at the beginning stages. But I feel that the end goal, is going to be great and very important for football because the end goal is to try and help the referees to make the best possible decisions that they can. That can eventually be achieved. But Julian, I'll agree with you.
Yeah.
It's messing with the vibe.
He's a City fan, so no surprise he's upset about VAR. But it takes away the emotions. But the problem is the penalty rule. I still have the problem with the penalty rule because sometimes they call the penalty, but their hands are in natural position where you cannot do anything. So that's the main reason. I'm not sure why no one is complaining, or no player or no one is coming out to complain about the ball to hand and hand to ball. It's not clear but with VAR, I agree with you, Double A.
Those are like the rules, man. It's not VAR that's a mess. It's the rules that are a mess.
But I think they need to either modify the rules because some of the penalty calls. I mean, I can mention too that the two that everyone probably knows, the Kimpembe one and the one against Tottenham too. Like the one City against Tottenham. I'm not sure the players could do anything. They could not do anything. I know they say hand is not in a natural position, but in a moment, it's difficult. It's difficult.
Okay. So from Mason Boris, who says, thoughts on this absolute disaster? With robots, assistant referees could become a thing of the past, as a specific department has now been created to explore just how influential technology could be on football. Do you want robots in for football?
I don't know. Yeah, I'm not sure. Plus, they need people.
I mean, put it this way: their decisions will always be consistent, and they will always give you pinpoint right decisions all the time, and they'll never be swayed. So
there's no corruption. It's better with the referees too. I know sometimes teams are in the bad end, but with the referees they have different characteristics. Some of them are harsh. Some of them let the game go. So it's like with the robots. I mean, it'll be the same, but with the referees, it's different. I like that part.
Okay. So from Keegan Blaze, who says, when will Ole Gunnar Solskjaer get sacked, do you guys think? And is Ralph Hasenhuttl a good option to replace him? I see him leaving by November. Well, we touched on this earlier on. Solskjaer might get sacked either by Christmas or in the summer if United don't get top 4. And I think Hasenhuttl would be a very good replacement. Hasenhuttl with people like Martial, Rashford, Pogba, Shaw, Maguire, and so forth, I think he'd do very good things for them. So yeah, I think that's an interesting signing.
Ten Hag too. I'm going to. I know I'm like a Ten Hag every time, but
no. What he did with Ajax was quality.
Yeah,
I like. It is so good to have a manager like that just wants players to play.
Yeah. Plus, he was assistant coach under Pep. Bayern Munich. Yeah, he was like he worked with Pep.
Oh wow! I didn't know that.
Okay. If United get Ten Hag, they will play good football. Like it will be good to watch.
Okay. From AV, who says, this isn't a question, but just a comment. Spurs have been playing some of the most stale football I've seen from a supposed top side. And I don't know how much of that is down to Poch or if it's just the players. Poch. Juju man, this dude was playing Musa Sissoko right wing. What the hell is Sissoko going to do right wing?
Pochettino, I think I mentioned it already. He's a 50-50 manager. Like sometimes it's his players and sometimes he's the one that is brilliant.
Champions League draw will be happening on Thursday. Let me put it out there because it's very hard to know with the different pots and everything and so forth. What groups or matchups do you think are going to happen? I'll start. I really believe we will see Real Madrid Chelsea. And you know what I also want to see?
Yeah.
Based on what happened, I want to see Liverpool and Barcelona in the same group. So I want to see Liverpool, Barcelona in the same group, and Hazard coming back to Stamford Bridge and how he'll be received, and just that storyline I think will be very interesting. So those are the two things that. And what will be? You know what we really need? PSG, Barcelona in the same.
I was about to say that one. That's what I want. PSG, Barcelona. I want Man City, Juventus. I either want Juventus with Real Madrid too. I need Liverpool against Dortmund. I want that one.
That'd be sweet.
Yeah, but I want Inter Milan against Chelsea, maybe, or Inter Milan against Chelsea. But the most important one, two of the most important one. I want Juventus, Real Madrid, and and I want that would be amazing. We'll see Ronaldo back at the Bernabeu, and I want Man City. I want Man City to face a hard team.
But do you know what would be crazy?
Yeah.
If Juventus have Real Madrid and Cristiano gets a hat trick at the Bernabeu.
That would be nice.
Oh my god, that would be crazy. Okay, so that's all that is for us. Juju man, thank you so much for being part of this. Thank you so much. You were an absolute amazing co-host here. Guys, thank you very much for watching Talk Tactics. Remember to follow us on SoundCloud, on Spotify, on iTunes. Remember to like us on the different platforms. Remember to share it. Remember, the more that you share, the more people will be able to listen to our Talk Tactics. And tell a friend, tell a girlfriend, tell a dog, tell a cat, tell everyone you know about our Talking Tactics podcast that has been going strong since 2016. So that's all that is here for us. We'll see you back in again next week for another lovely edition of Talking Tactics. So sometimes funny, sometimes serious.
Always football.
Peace out. Stay true. Peace out. And we're out.